for joining us for another Community Connections. And we are joined this month by Brent Myers, who is the chair of the NTX Council, which is a division of GFWAR, to give us a little bit of a look at what's happening in the Southern Denton County market. So, Brent, thank you for joining us on this month's video.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's just start off with a little bit of context of what the NTX Council is. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you guys are and what you're doing?
Sure. So about a year ago, we had the fantastic opportunity to merge with the Fort Worth Association, Greater Fort Worth Association of Realtors. I'll get it right here, from the Louisville area here. And so part of that merger was to have a group that is still very active in the Flower Mound, Louisville, Highland Village area, and to be able to kind of oversee our area, make decisions about different things that happen as far as like advocacy and things like that. And so we have a council that is part of that organization now, and so we have a good group up here and good representation. But we're very excited to be part of the Fort Worth Association. So it's worked out very well. We have a great culture together. As you know, we spent a lot of time together in the last couple of years here, trying to work out all the details on that. So we're excited. We're live and we're going. We're what 2 months into this now, I guess, officially. And so far things have worked out pretty well, and we're pretty happy with how the process has gone.
Yeah, we're excited too. I mean, we always said along the way it was just a really natural fit. So I
Yeah,
think it felt that way since day one, which
absolutely.
makes it feel like it makes us more confident that we made the right decision. So we're really excited to have you guys as part of it.
Yep.
So let's talk about the market and what's going on in
Sure.
your area. So, we're all in like kind of the greater North Texas market, but you guys are really specific up there in that kind of Southern Denton County, northern part of the market. So can you tell us a little bit
Right.
more about what priorities and what kind of things you're seeing, not just with the council, but also in the market area?
Sure. So one of the things that is unique, I guess, about our area is, well, and maybe not so unique with Fort Worth too. There's a lot of new construction still happening. When you get out into our western area here, there's a lot of new homes being built. In the Argyle area, North Lake, Robeson Ranch is huge. We do a lot of business in that area. But we've also got a lot of existing homes. Flower Mound, Highland Village, Louisville is kind of our core area, but we also include things like Bartonville, Double Oak, Copper Canyon, Lantana. Those areas have existing homes, and the market has done very well there too. Last year, of course, we saw a little bit of a slowdown. Interest rates had spiked. And so this year, we're already kind of seeing, and it's a little bit seasonal, but interest rates had come down. And so we've seen a lot of activity lately. Um, I was out showing this week and ran into agents showing the same house at the same time. Listed a property on Friday, got multiple offers over the weekend, which I was a little surprised. It was a property that was in a little bit lower price point. And that's one of the things that we're seeing too is, of course, that market under 500,000 seems to move a little bit faster than the properties over 500,000, which is normal, nothing
Yeah.
unusual. But we're seeing a lot of activity right now across the board, and it's a good thing. We need buyers to get out and get that backlog of buyers that have waited over the last year to start to activate and get into the market. And we also have good inventory. We've still got, I looked today and we've got almost 4 months of inventory here in Denton County. And, that's up from, let's say, the 22, 23 era where we had 5 to 10 days of inventory. So it's a good
Yeah.
opportunity for people to get out. There's homes available, and we've got everything from
Yeah.
new construction to existing homes ready to go. So I do love, and I'm going to point it out that your window cleaner is
I know. I'm
working
sure
on
you
your
can
window.
hear it. I don't know. They've just decided to start cleaning the window as soon as we started recording.
That's perfect. That's good. It works for me. So
Yes, we needed the windows cleaned here. So what do you think is it that makes it so unique in that market? What makes you kind of different from other parts of the metro area?
sure. Well, we've got a lot of variety in Denton County in particular. As far as, we've got homes that would be considered, your typical suburban homes to we have, mega ranches in the area. And so, we've got horse ranches, we've got, lots of land still available. We've got developers that are purchasing. And it is because of the like Flower Mound in particular, Highland Village, we're situated between two lakes. right? We've got Lake Louisville to the north, Lake Grapevine to the south. And so it's created this kind of funnel where the growth kind of grew through that area. And we've just got a wide variety of unique properties, as well as, you can find a standard subdivision type home. So there's just a lot of variety. Price point has stayed real affordable for the most part. Now, as we see the new construction going in, we're getting a mix of both affordable and maybe some upper end properties that are going in some of
Yeah.
these subdivisions as the developers go too. So I think that's the main thing is it's still kind of a small town feel because it is somewhat isolated geographically. And
Yeah.
you go out to the restaurants and you go to dinner and you still run into people that you know and yet we've got all the amenities of the big towns. So
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I like about living in this kind of region too, is you can live in somewhere that's a little bit quieter, but you still have access to all the big metro area amenities. So it's a nice kind of both worlds that you get to have.
right. And of course, we're located, just minutes from DFW. That was actually part of the original development out here was that there were a lot of pilots moving to this area, especially South
Oh,
Flower Mound,
yeah.
because it was easy access. You drove down 2499. It took 20 minutes to get to the airport, and that helped a lot with the beginning stages of kind of the Flower Mound Highland Village area. So
Yeah, that's really great. So what is something that you would say is kind of surprising about your market or that has surprised you up there?
yeah. So, I mean, there's so many things going on right now. We've seen such fluctuations from really quiet market last year, and I think the thing that's surprising me right now is just the amount of activity. I kind of mentioned earlier, like a listing that I put on the market on Friday and had multiple offers.
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting it. I knew that there was a lot of activity as I monitor our office as far as contracts and things coming in, and we were seeing pretty consistent traffic and the standard seasonal upflow. But I guess when I got out and it was showing here in the last couple weeks where hey Jim, how you doing? And oh, he's showing the same property I am, and so I think the buyers are finally activating, and we're getting some more people in the market, and that was probably the one thing in the last few weeks at least that's kind of been a little bit of a surprise to me is how quickly that started. A lot of times it'll wait till April and May as
Yeah,
the summer approaches, and already in March here we were seeing some good traffic. So,
that's
so it's a positive outlook. That's one of
yeah,
the things that we weren't sure how this year was going to go, and it looks like things are headed the right direction with the availability for homes because affordable housing, of course, has been a huge issue in our area and across the metroplex. Well, whatever, across the country. Let's call it what
right.
it is. And so I think with builders that are building in the 300 range in certain areas, because we still have some of that out on our western edge, as well as we have the luxury homes, and it's a good mix, good schools. So I think that the early activity is probably what surprised me a little bit right now.
Yeah, and I'll touch on a little bit. You mentioned, making homes or building homes or having homes on the market that are more affordable, and
Hmm.
that's not just for I think the what we consider a price point that's affordable can be very different, but we're talking about just like everyday people, like what they can afford, right? And
Yeah.
that seems, we try to change that terminology to more that attainable housing for those people right now. And that's
Right.
something that I think around the Metroplex we're trying to hopefully see more of come onto the market.
Yep. And
Yeah,
that's the main thing. You have people who wanna work in an area and they're priced out of it. I mean,
right,
they can't afford to live in the area that they work, whether that's a, teacher, fire, police,
right,
whatever, and they're living in these other communities and commuting here,
right.
and so it's good to see that some of that's available, and yeah, I guess
Yeah,
the
I agree.
attainable is a much better word for it, so,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
yeah,
we wanna keep everybody in the communities that we're getting to
yeah,
both live and work in, right? And so I'm happy to see, like, we've seen some shifts in that in this area, which has been really great.
yep.
So looking forward at the rest of the year, what are if you had a crystal ball, what kind of prediction or outlook do you have for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I mean that's the magic, right? If I could see into the future.
Right.
So again, based on history for me, having gone through cycles, I survived the 2008, 2009 era. I think people were concerned that maybe we were getting into that kind of a cycle to start with when the interest rates spiked. And I just don't see that happening. I think that right now, again, watching this year in 2026 as the market has picked up, we were all kind of collectively holding our breath to see what was going to
Yeah.
happen. And I really think right now, I think that we're in a position where I think the market is going to get back to normal. I don't know that there is a real normal anymore, but
Yeah.
I think that we're seeing a little bit more balanced market where we've got inventory, but we've got buyers, like I said, that are activating and getting out and looking at homes, and I think that's making a big difference. So I think we're going to see a good year.
Yeah.
It may not be the best ever, but it could turn out to be it. It just depends kind of on circumstances outside our control, right?
Right.
Um, if the Fed drops rates again, which again, they're talking about that. Of course, they talk about it every week.
Right.
So we just have to help buyers understand that because there is inventory, and we're also one of the things I did look at our numbers here to see for Denton County, homes are selling at about 7% less than the original list price. And so that means that there's an opportunity for buyers to be able to, get a little bit of a deal.
Yeah.
Sellers aren't being crazy about giving away their properties, but we are seeing that there is an opportunity there for buyers to be able to get in. So,
Yeah.
so get out there, go look. If you're thinking of buying, this is a great time.
Yeah. Well, so I can tell just talking to you about how much you love what you do, but if you had to pick something, like what's your favorite part about working in this community?
In the community, well, our area is fantastic. I've lived here since '95, so
Okay.
31 years in Highland Village, and whatever Highland Village, Flower Mound, Louisville. Watching the progression of how it's grown, for the most part, it was smart growth. Highland Village is mostly built out, but again, it's such a small town feel. The mayor's a friend. She's also a realtor.
Right.
You just know the people in the community. There's great clubs, that are involved here, and people care about it. The schools,
Yeah.
we're fortunate to have great schools. One of the reasons that our area in particular in Highland Village does so well is because of the schools that are here. People literally are moving here to get their kids in the schools. Um, so I think, really that's the overall feel. I like the small town feel. I grew up in another small town in South Dakota.
Yeah.
For me to live in a town that's about the same size as my hometown, it's just a cool thing.
Yeah.
You get to know your community, you get to know the people in it. You go to the dog park and you see all the same people, and you build
Yeah.
friendships and relationships. So that's it.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's so important to be able to find your community that works for you. And it sounds like you guys have a great one going up there. I know we've been
We
really
do.
excited to have that area as part of our membership too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, well, thank you, Brent, so much for sharing a little bit about what's going on up in your market and about what you guys are doing with the NTX Council. Thank you for putting up with my window washers behind me.
That was
Uh,
the best. It's
yeah,
always
so I
something.
know I have clean windows now. But thank you so much. And, for anyone watching, we'll also have this available on our podcast. So if you want to listen to it, you can. And we'll be back next month with another community connection. So thank you, Brent, so much for joining us.
Thanks, Suzanne. Have a great day.